experience from both Canadian Forces Reserve between 1980 and Manitoba with a very tough outdoor program. It was sort of like Lord of the Flies on testosterone.
I had to make the decision, and the scary part was losing friends, family, or my job.
Through the recruitment process, particularly around the prospect of psychological testing and the fear that they would figure me out, and the anxiety and fear that someone would find out my secret. The anxiety goes up and down.
The education process will set in place a chain where people come to realise that it's not an issue, and that's all it is. It's just understanding that there isn't an issue there in the first place. It's just a perceived issue.
When I came there as a newly trained squadron intelligence officer, and I wasn't out, but I definitely wasn't one of the fighter pilots.
So even though I arrived back in Hawaii, they still promoted me. They still continued to give me various accommodations and awards for my service as a sailor, but they were still processing my discharge paperwork as well, just because of a policy in place.
And the networking will help. I've even got people within my own base that have sought help, and just to sort of illustrate that point.
And one of the most frustrating things for me was knowing that they could sit there and tell me that they valued me as a person and as a sailor, but because of something fundamental to who I am, my service was still never going to be enough to the United States military.
There is a new the new policy, or the guidelines that we use were based on the UK guidelines.
Major Harding, I
Yep.
just